Most professionals out there are already using AI at work, but here's the reality. Very few are actually using it safely. Welcome to This Explainer. I'm your guide today, and if you're regularly opening up ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, or Claude to help you get through your workday, you are absolutely in the right place.
And I'm your realist co-host, because let's be honest, we're all looking for a way to save some time. But the catch is, jumping into these tools without a plan is risky.
Exactly. So today, we're taking the Safe AI at Work guide and breaking it down into highly actionable steps. No dense tech jargon, no philosophical debates about the future of robots, just practical, everyday rules for professionals trying to do their jobs well. So let's start with a tough question. Are you really using AI safely? It's incredibly tempting to just copy a massive block of text, drop it into an AI prompt, and ask for a quick summary. But doing that can instantly trigger some major privacy, accuracy, and ultimately professional risks. It is just so easy to treat these tools like a souped-up calculator or a basic search engine, you know? But the stakes for your credibility are actually way higher than people realize. Totally. If you inadvertently paste sensitive company data, or say you forward it in an email containing a fact that the AI completely made up, well, telling your manager, "I didn't know," just isn't gonna cut it. Right, and that's the exact situation most of us find ourselves in. You're a busy professional, you're sitting at your laptop, drowning in emails, and trying to draft a report by 5 p.m. It is literally just you staring at this blank prompt box. And that blank box is actually kind of intimidating, mainly because most companies haven't provided any clear guidance on how to use it. Exactly, I'm just trying to work efficiently, but I don't actually know what happens to that data once I hit enter. It kind of feels like throwing information into a black hole. Well, the truth is, it's not a black hole. It's a third-party server. The second that text leaves your device, it's on someone else's server, and that creates instant risk. The guide highlights 3 specific mistakes professionals make every single day. First, pasting real raw data into prompts. Second, taking the AI's output and using it without verifying it. And third, using unapproved AI tools for company business.
Man, that first one happens all the time. You just want a quick recap of a meeting transcript, so you paste the whole thing in, completely forgetting that a client's specific financial situation was discussed in the middle of it.
Exactly. Now, the absolute best solution to that specific problem is the red, yellow, green framework. It takes maybe 10 seconds to do, and it introduces a core habit you really need to build. Pause before you paste.
Okay, pause before you paste. I really like that. It's catchy.
Right? And while you're pausing, just ask yourself one very simple question. Would I be comfortable if my manager or our legal team or even a regulator saw exactly what I just typed? If the answer is no, or even a hesitant maybe, you stop. So let's talk about the red category. This is the high-risk, stop immediately stuff. And honestly, this hits home for me. I can't paste a client's email to help me draft a reply. I can't paste a team member's salary when I'm writing their performance review, and I definitely cannot drop a non-disclosure agreement into an AI to summarize the key points.
Spot on. That is all firmly in the red zone. Real names, account numbers, any health info, API keys, unannounced financial results, never paste this stuff. It violates company policies, and like we said, once it leaves your system, you have zero control over it.
But to be clear, that doesn't mean you can't use AI at all. You just need to manage the yellow zone and lean heavily into the green zone. Yellow items are things like internal project code names, draft policies, or vendor pricing. You can use these, but you absolutely must anonymize or redact them first.
Got it. And green is basically our safe zone, right?
Yes, green means you are safe to proceed. Your own rough drafts that don't contain sensitive data, generic job descriptions, public information from a website, or just asking general how-to process questions. All of that is perfectly safe to punch in immediately. Let's make this real with an example. An unsafe prompt, something I might actually type in a rush, would look like this. Write a follow-up email to John Smith at Acme Corp about the 2.4M contract renewal we discussed on Tuesday.
And that brilliantly illustrates the risk. In one sentence, you just handed over a real name, a real company, and a highly specific financial figure. So instead, anonymize it. The safe prompt becomes, write a professional follow-up email about a contract renewal discussion, tone warm but businesslike. Notice how you remove the identifiers, but the AI still gives you the exact email structure you need to get the job done.
Oh, I see. Okay, let's look at an HR scenario. An unsafe prompt here would be, help me write a performance review for Sarah Jones. She earns £52,000 and missed 3 KPIs in Q3, which is a huge privacy risk for Sarah. But applying the framework, you can completely remove the risk just by making it generic. Your safe version is, help me write a performance review for an employee who missed 3 KPIs. Include one strength and one development area. The AI does the heavy lifting on phrasing the difficult conversation, and you just fill in Sarah's specific details offline. So once you've safely prompted the AI, you have to handle what it actually spits back out at you. And this brings us to the second critical habit. Treat AI output like a first draft.
Because AI sounds incredibly confident, right? Like, even when it is totally, completely wrong.
Exactly. AI tools are designed to sound authoritative. They don't flag uncertainty the way a human coworker would. They can and will invent facts, create fake citations out of thin air, or just completely misjudge the tone of a situation. Catching those errors is entirely your job. Let's break down how to build a safety net for yourself. It's called the 5-step output check. Okay, so step 1, I need to check every fact and figure against a real source to make sure the AI's math is actually right. And then verify any references or citations, since we know it might just be hallucinating them.
You got it.
Then you check the tone and context, because the AI doesn't know your complex office politics or the history you have with a specific client. That makes total sense. So I also need to look for what's missing so the document isn't shallow. And then finally, just apply my own professional judgment, because at the end of the day, I'm the expert in the room, not the software. Okay, but here's a really practical question. Let's say I do all this perfectly. How do I actually explain my AI use to my manager without sounding like I'm just cutting corners or being lazy?
That is a great question. You frame it as a workflow improvement. You focus on what the tool enables you to do better. The guide gives this exact script, which is brilliant. You say, I used AI to help structure a first draft. All the facts, judgments, and decisions in the final version are mine. I treat it like using a spell checker. It helps with the mechanics, but the substance is my work. That phrasing shows complete professional ownership.
What if my company is a bit behind and doesn't even have a formal AI policy yet?
If it feels like the Wild West and there is no policy, you just default to the red, yellow, green framework we just walked through. Only use tools your company already explicitly pays for, like Microsoft 365 Copilot. Avoid free consumer tools for your work tasks. Never paste sensitive data, period. Keep a brief log of how you're using it, and honestly, if you're ever unsure, just ask your manager. Asking a quick question always protects you.
To wrap this all up, the goal of these guidelines is absolutely not to make you terrified of AI. The goal is simply to use it deliberately.
Right. It's about ensuring that everything leaving my desk still reflects my high professional standards. The AI might help me draft the email, but I am the one hitting send, so I own it.
Perfectly said. You are the professional. The AI is just a tool in your toolkit. So, we want to leave you with a quick challenge for today. When you go back to your inbox or you open that report you've been putting off, what will you pause and redact before your very next AI prompt? Remember to lean on the red, yellow, green framework. Pause before you paste, anonymize your data, and treat every single output as a rough first draft. Thanks for joining us for this explainer. Now go start applying these habits to your very next task.